We have the first talk in English this morning. It's from the Italian ecosystem. It's amazing. We have been in this conference. We have like 3-4 projects, Italian ones, so we can talk in Itagnol, something like that. But anyway, this is one of the most promising projects in options. So I really appreciate that you stay with us, and really looking forward to your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Okay, thanks, Jesus. That was like a very great introduction, I guess. So sorry, I cannot speak Spanish even though I'm Italian, so I'll be in English. But next year, probably I'll try to do in Spanish. Anyway, today we're going to talk about DeFi option challenges. So what that means, DeFi, decentralized finance. Options are a financial instrument. It's one of the most popular instruments when it comes to traditional finance. Options are a derivative, so they are a risky instrument, but they have a lot of different use cases. The main ones are speculation, but there is another one that is also very important for any financial system, that is hedging. You can use option to manage your risk. That's why if you want to have a financial system that works in DeFi, we need instruments like options to manage risk, but also for the appetite of users that they want to speculate, because that's how finance it is. Like some people also want to speculate. So let's look into the challenges. So why I'm here? I'm one of the founders of this project that is called Rysk, R-Y-S-K, and we are an options protocol in DeFi. Our first product, it's called Dynamic Hedging Vault. And you can think of a product like this. It is a vault. It is a box where on one side we have those people, liquidity providers, and what they do, those are like retail users. You can think like as anyone in DeFi users. They have USDC, so stable coin, and what do they want? They want to earn a yield on their stable coin. So what they do, they deposit into this vault, and basically the job is done. But what we do with this vault, and the way you can think of the vault is a set of smart contracts. So we are on top of Arbitrum, a layer 2 on Ethereum, and the smart contracts, what they do, they trade options. And the options that we trade are with traders, so traders in DeFi, but also with other protocols. Because that's the best thing about DeFi. That's probably the thing that made me very excited at the beginning. It was like, when you build something in DeFi, you're building something that anyone can use, but also other protocols. It's like a Lego system. Everyone can go there, building other products. And so that's what we do. Like we trade options with traders, but also with other protocols. And those other protocols, mostly they do it to create other products, to manage their risk, and so on. And the way we do it is we trade options, and because we trade options, we can generate a yield for liquidity providers on the USDC deposit. So simple example, they deposit $10. In a few weeks, those $10 is gonna be $10 point 0.3, 0.4, whatever. And the way we do it, we manage the risk of this vault by, down there, we do dynamic hedging to reduce the risk exposure. Dynamic hedging is a nice, fancy word in DeFi. What that means is like we try to not be exposed to market movements. So we don't make bets of market going up or down. We just try to generate an income no matter the market is going up or down. And to do that, we need to hedge often. So we have an exposure, the market is moving, and what we do is like we take at the other position basically to make sure that we rebalance. Hedging has a cost. What we do, it's a risky strategy. I'm completely honest. It's not a risk-free strategy because of, hedging costs, trading, derivatives, and so on. And so the goal is to make sure that we manage the risk properly. And we can talk about later, it's pretty challenging. So what is the crypto option landscape today? Because that's the topic that I wanted to talk mostly right now. So we have DeFi, right? DeFi, we have those products over here. Today I'm going to focus on the structured products because that was the trend in 2021. in DeFi 2021, what happened was options are hard to understand for average users. So a lot of people that just don't want to put their brain understanding what's going on with options. So what those guys thought about, like for example, Ribbon was one of the first that said, okay, let's create a product where users deposit and the product is trading options for them. So they don't have to care about which options to buy, expiry, making strategies, managing the risk. They were doing pretty much that. That was very early on, and the structured products got very big. To give you a number, on top of last year, I think the the TVL, so the liquidity into the product in terms of US dollar for just Ribbon, I think it was like 300 million. And for a business that started that year, that was like pretty impressive, to be honest. So we have DeFi, we have those products, they trade options, and to give you an idea, the way it works, it's very simple. Like every Friday, they buy an option. They sell an option every Friday. And that's a strategy, simple, and in the future they're gonna be more advanced, more fancy, but for now, every Friday they sell an option, they generate a yield out of it. And then we have CeFi. CeFi, centralized finance. So you probably recognize the logo over there in the middle, FTX. FTX, in the last few weeks, we hear them a lot because they had a big scandal. They lost a lot of money, they get bankruptcy. So FTX got into the option market, I think last year or 2 years ago, something like that, buying the other logo over there, LedgerX. So FTX was also working with options. So we have CeFi, we have Deribit is the biggest option market, we have FTX, we have Binance. This is centralized finance, they are supposed to be regulated, but in reality what we saw with FTX is like probably not that good. And that's the ecosystem, right? That's what happened if you want to trade a crypto option. But what happened in reality is like we always say DeFi, decentralized, that's what we need. Like, you know, also the speech before everyone was talking about decentralization, that's the goal. But what happened in reality, and this is pretty controversial and it's good to understand this, like we have those middle actors over here, market makers. Market makers are, to be very honest, very smart people. They are a kind of hedge fund. Most of them coming from traditional finance, very smart, talented, they know what they do. And the one in the middle, the logo over there, that's Alameda. That's connected to FTX. That's the reason why FTX failed. Those guys were a market maker, they were trading, supposedly to be regulated, even in the case, probably not that good, and there was a big scandal. But why I'm talking about this right now? So what happened with DeFi is that those structured products over here, what they do, they sell an option every Friday to who? Market makers. And what the market maker is doing, it's a very simple game. They go to CeFi and take the other side. So I buy from here and I sell on CeFi. And what they do, they buy for a low price here and they sell for a higher price on CeFi, centralized finance. This is not good. The main reason why it's not good, it's because first, we have lower prices here because they need to make a spread and they make money there, not here. So we have lower price compared to CeFi, so lower performance. And the other reason is because we depend from CeFi. Think about this way. What happens if those actors over there for one day, they just stop trading, like for any reason? Well, there is no money coming here because market maker, they're not gonna do a deal with this without taking the other side. So what happened is, everything that we have in DeFi, in the option space, and it's also similar for other derivatives, is actually just moving money from CeFi. So yeah, we have this big battle between CeFi and DeFi, but what happened in reality, DeFi is just a way to move money. It's not an economy on itself. And so what we're trying to be with Rysk is we try to be there. What that means, we are trying to be a market maker, but on-chain. So we are a decentralized market maker. Our market making is made by smart contracts, so it's not made by traders and so on. The market makers, they have a lot of liquidity, and if there is an ecosystem on DeFi, let's say that there is an ecosystem where it's able to trade any type of option, that there is liquidity and so on, they don't need CeFi anymore because They can go to Rysk instead of Deribit, for example, and trade the other side on Ribbon, or even without using market maker, we can just make a bridge between, Rysk and Ribbon, something like that. So our goal as an industry, if you really believe on decentralization, if you really believe on a financial system, we should get rid of CeFi, and we shouldn't use those bridges to go CeFi, because that's what it is right now in a completely honest way. So what are the challenges to go there? A lot of challenges. We are very far away, and if people use CeFi, there is a reason, because today, unfortunately, for many things, it's better. So what are the challenges if you want to go there? That's capital efficiency. What that means, so I told you about Ribbon. Every week they sell an option, right? So let's say that they have 1 Ethereum. How many contracts they can sell? Well, on Ribbon they sell 1 contract. So with 1 Ethereum, I sell 1 contract and I make money out of that contract. On Deribit, you can sell 10. So that's 10 times better. Like on Deribit, with 1 ETH, you can sell 10 contracts. You can make 10 times the money you make on something like Ribbon. So what we build with Rysk is that we are on 5. It's better, but we're still far away. So if we want to get to the usage of Deribit, this is one of the biggest challenges, because we have to get there, because capital efficiency matters. The other one is risk management. Okay, risk management. Imagine that what we do is managing the risk through set of smart contracts. So we need other protocols. So for example, right now we use GMX, we use Uniswap, and so on. Some of them, they are mature, and it's fine. Some of them, they're not mature, so it's hard to find a good edging spot. So we need the ecosystem to grow to make sure that we have the risk management tool that we need. And we are going there, but we're still a bit far away. And the other thing is that we need to codify risk management rules. So market makers, traders, banks, they have entire teams of people just doing risk management, and sometimes they do like a great job, sometimes like not that great, like as we saw with Alameda, but we need to codify that into smart contracts, and that's pretty challenging, because where a human is saying, oh, there is a market movement, we should do this, well, we have to codify that into a rule for a smart contract, and it's hard, will take time, we'll go there. And the other thing that we need to do for risk management, I would say we need to keep DeFi trustless. What I mean is like recently people thought, okay, like FTX, Alameda, whatever, those actors are very reliable, and they had from DeFi some sort of instrument like uncollateralized loan. So they had financial agreements with them based on paper, not based on a smart contract, and well, if there is something like what happened with Alameda, that's a big issue, because you basically need to rely on paper, not a smart contract anymore. So for risk management, my personal view is that we need to keep DeFi trustless. DeFi has to be smart contracts. We shouldn't bring legal papers to say, oh, you owe me money, because that's not going to work. The other challenge is security. I know you're not going to see the numbers. The reason why I put it there, this is like Wrecked. It's a website that you can go there and see all the exploit, hacks, money lost in crypto in general, not just DeFi. Just to give you an idea, the biggest protocol over there, running network, it got exploited for 620 million. Security matters, and we need to work on security. So those are like the first 40. The 40 over there is still about 20 million. So imagine 20 million lost, and it's the top number 40. So with DeFi, with CeFi, this is not just DeFi. There are also some market maker out there. For example, there is Wintermute, there is Deribit as an exchange. But crypto, because of trustless and so on, we need to focus on security a lot if we want to get to a point where it's usable. The other thing is this, user experience. If you ever use something DeFi, you probably face something like that. So you have gas, you have a lot of MetaMask transaction, you have to give permission USDC, you have to make the transaction, you have to withdraw the money, you have transactions that are gonna fail, you need bridges to go to layer 2. This is not usable when you wanna be on trading side. Like you cannot, especially with options. Options are a sensitive instrument. The price change every single second. By the time you do all of this, probably your option is already like, the price is sort of 20% more, 20% less. Like it's not fair anymore. So that's one of the biggest challenge, and it is always a trade-off. Like, we're doing this not because we are, crazy people. We're doing this because we need security, because we need, like all the decentralization and so on. And so one of the biggest challenges is going to be user experience, because if we keep doing like this, something like this, we cannot reach to a point where it's going to be similar to Deribit or FTX. People were using FTX because the UX was way, way, way better. So when FTX failed, I was like, yeah, fair. It is a trade-off between security, trust, but if people were using it, there were a reason. The product was working. That's it. The other problem is performance. FTX, I used it a few times. You can trade anything with liquidity. It was fast. It was, if you want to do professional trading, FTX was great. In DeFi, we don't have that. We don't have that liquidity. It's still small. We need a lot of liquidity. And then the other challenge is small bid-ask spread. We need to reduce slippage. We need to reduce MEV. It's a very interesting concept. We can talk probably in a completely different panel about it, but front run, because what happened with DeFi, everything is transparent, and that means that everyone knows what's going to happen. Like, because it is transparent, you can front run, you can anticipate what the protocol is going to do. And in finance, that's big. Like, you know that a protocol is going to buy something in a minute from now. What are you going to do? You can say, oh, because this guy, they're going to buy something at the price, I can front run. So there are a lot of issues with performance, a lot of challenges again. Transparency, like, yeah, DeFi is transparent, but the meme over here, like, you read smart contracts. Like, how many people actually read smart contracts? Probably only the developers that they build them, because other people that don't even know how to read it. If you know how to read it, every protocol is so specific that probably it's just so hard to go deep and figure it out what's going on. So yeah, we have transparency, but are we really able to read that transparency? Probably not yet, right? And metrics, like, in the last few years, we saw, oh, this is like 1,000% APY, this is like 45 point something APY. But do we really know how the APY is calculated? Like, every protocol has its own different calculation. Some protocols that were just like completely misleading. So even on the metrics over there, yeah, are transparent, but are we really sure about the calculation? It is like what we need. So we definitely need some standard on, APY, Rysk behind it, and so on. And the last one, collaboration. So something, when I joined DeFi, like, for me, it was, all the protocols out there, we help each other, we build something together, whatever. What happened in the last few, like, especially in the last year, most of the people were coming to me. I was like, the first question they always ask me is like, oh, how are you different with your competitors? I'm like, yeah, we are different, I can explain to you. But the thing is, like, DeFi, it is something evolving. Even a competitor now cannot be a competitor 1 month from now, because evolution, the product that we do, and we need to collaborate between each other. There is no such thing as competition inside DeFi right now, because competition for such a small piece of the cake, it doesn't make sense. We need to fight against CeFi, we need to fight against FTX, we need to fight against Deribit, not against each other. So the way we believe is that we need to collaborate between protocols, even if we are in the same industry, even if we do something similar, we need to talk each other, we need to collaborate, because competition for a small piece of the cake doesn't make sense. So yeah, we have a lot of challenges, we're gonna get there. Thanks for inviting me. If you guys want to discuss anything about derivatives, options, collaboration, whatever, over there it's my tweet. Feel free to add me and send me messages. Thank you.